It is like the most beautiful morning ever. I am over here at our house and I wanted to take you guys over to the farmhouse because I've been meaning to show you guys. Can you hear the ducks? I've been meaning to show you guys the gardens and how everything is coming along with the landscaping. We're still in the very wee beginnings of planting, and I just planted a few things, but I want to take you over this morning. I just finished the chores. You can hear the ducks quacking. So let's go. So I just made it over here to the farmhouse, and as you can see, this is already vastly different from our house. We have full sun, it is beating down, and where we live now, it is completely shaded. We're down in the woods, so completely different gardens. We live in a zone 5 in Ohio, and I'm really excited to show you guys around because I have big plans. But we're starting from scratch. So a little backstory. I've shared this over on the Instagram, but our housing situation is a little unique because the farmhouse is attached to my in-laws' house. So they built this addition on like 10-15 years ago, and they never did anything with it, and then we decided to expand, and we're finishing it out. And so along with that comes beautiful gardens. So I wanted to kind of show you from the very beginning and walk you through. So this is the side of the house that you pull up to from our driveway, and we have a really cute little porch off there that I've showed you guys the lighting install on that in the previous video. But as you can see, there is a 3-bay garage underneath. That is my father-in-law's workshop, and so that's a little bit unique, whereas the house isn't ground level. Let's take you over through here through the mini truck. So this is where the actual gardens start. And as you can see, we have a blank slate, except we do have the hydrangeas that are in bloom down by the vegetable garden. They are so beautiful. I love that I lined them there. They're just a really pretty pop of bright white. But I'm actually going to take you up onto our bedroom porch because that'll give us a nice little layout, and you can kind of see from above the layout that I already have started. So let's take a gander up there quick. All right, so right out the master bedroom, we can get a grand look. You can see we started to install our fence panels. It looks so glorious. So this is right below us where I just was, and I wanted to show you the layout that I already planned. So what I ended up doing was taking the big hose and laying out in the grass where I wanted these beds to kind of go and swoop in and out. And then what I did was I took some spray paint and I spray painted the line. See all along through here. So this is all going to be flower gardens eventually. So once we had it spray painted, then I was able to go back through with the edger and kind of dig my trench of where these flower beds would be. So you can kind of see our distinct line. So this will all be flower gardens. Very ambitious for our first time, but I absolutely love this view of the vegetable garden, and you get the morning sunrise. It's gonna be glorious. So now that you guys can kind of tell where these lines are, let's go back down and I'll show you what we got rolling. But to start out, I had gotten 2 white wisteria plants from Taylor's grandma, and they are white, they're beautiful, and so eventually they'll climb up here once they're big enough, and then they'll climb over the pergola. At least that's the dream. But all of this will be planted up and be gardens. So like I mentioned, we're going to rototill it, and then we're going to cover it with a weed barrier, lay gravel, and then it will be planted up. I already have some things in the ground. I have 2 juniper trees. Here's one, and then here's a different kind of juniper, but they kind of have that European cypress kind of feel which is what I'm wanting. I want these gardens to feel very European inspired, while feeling very cottagey, informal but formal, if that makes any sense. I want lots of boxwoods. So over in this corner, do you guys hear that hawk? Over here in this little corner, I have some boxwoods already planted up. I want loads of boxwoods for that winter interest, and I think that'll really pull in that formal but informal feel. I picked up some bargain roses from Walmart that were discounted. They smell so good. I believe it's like a popcorn drift. They smell so pretty, and they have that peachy popcorn kind of color that turns into white blooms. Aren't those magnificent? Also rolling, we have some catmint, which I feel like adds that lavender feel. So I want a bunch of whites and the light pastel purple colors like lavender. I feel like that'll really pull in that European vibe that I'm wanting. And then I installed these big bad boys. These are leftover wood pieces, wood beams that I built into the ground, and then those will be covered up with, they'll have pea gravel here in the centers for like an additional steps leading up to the steps, since these grounds are kind of on a hillside. So this flower bed, I actually have to mark out an edge still. But back in this corner, you can see that I already started to cover it with the weed barrier this past weekend to kind of yield back those weeds, and that way I don't have to weed eat so much. So this is the weed barrier that we'll be putting down throughout the entire beds. And then I'm thinking we'll probably plan up like what we already know is going to be going where. And then once we have that weed barrier down, we can go back through, lay the landscaping rock. We're thinking like a pebble rock or some sorts. That way we don't have to worry about mulch each year. And then once we add more gardens, and once we add more of the flowers and stuff throughout the years, we can kind of just go back and plant them as needed. So you can definitely see that we are just in the very beginnings of planning. I still am unsure of where to put things and all that good stuff. But it's a process, and so I want to take you guys along and show you the inspiration, show you the plants that I already have planted up, and kind of I want to add in a bunch of hydrangeas, peonies still, some of those bigger blooming bushes, but right now I'm just trying to get a game plan, figure out where I want things, and I'm sure over the years it'll all evolve. Anyway, I'm gonna stand underneath the deck as we wrap this up because it is blazing hot already. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I just wanted to quickly walk you around, show you some of the plants that we have. I just want this to feel like a European cottage garden where it feels very informal but formal, if that makes any sense. So anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video, and hopefully we have a lot more flowers and landscaping down for you guys.